Welcome to the Design Principles assignment for the ART159 Graphic Design Layout course. In this module, you're going to see that we have an assignment sheet that gives you all the details in regards to the assignment, as well as a tutorial video, which you're watching now, the previous examples, and a template that will be used for this assignment as well. You can download the assignment sheet, or you can scroll down to read the assignment below. And we will go over this. In this module, you're going to be collecting and analyzing your own images using your cell phone or camera and commenting on the use of the C.R.A.P design principles, the acronym for C.R.A.P being contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, within the images that you've collected. You're going to collect one image related to each principle. So you're going to be collecting 4 images in total. That being said, I would suggest taking multiple images so that you can narrow down the best selections once you get back to your computer. The more images you have, the better options you'll have for each one of those principles. And what you may find is there is overlap between the principles, so try to choose the design or the image that is working best for that specific principle. Your images may include references to signage, magazines, packaging, newspapers, websites, posters, flyers, advertisements, etc. Begin to look around at the everyday items that you use or that you interact with on a daily basis and explore what the designer has done successfully or could improve upon. You can always visit the library or local bookstore for references. I do want these to be specific images that you are taking and not downloading from the internet. To get started, you're going to use the template provided in the module. There's going to be 4 pages in this template. You're going to be using Adobe InDesign to work within a compositional box to place your image for each one of the design principles, and a text box for your responses on each one of the pages in regards to those principles and how it's related to those images. Please complete the template and place the image you're referencing for each one of the principles. Once you have completed the assignment, go to File, Adobe PDF Presets, save that out as a smallest file size PDF to save out your final PDF, and then upload this to the assignment section in Canvas. Please submit this as one PDF to the assignment section in Canvas and make sure that all the correct layers and pages are included. Name your file using your first initial and last name, followed by the assignment title. For example, dgould_crapanalysis.pdf. This portion of the project will be graded on your understanding of the principles discussed and your analysis of the work referenced. So moving over to the previous examples here, you can see some of the examples from previous students and how they have completed the template itself with the images that they are referencing, as well as a short write-up to answer the questions and how that image demonstrates the particular principle that they are referencing as well. You can look through these to get an idea of what other students have done and how this assignment is to be completed properly. On the last tab over here, you'll notice that there is a template that will be used for this assignment. Make sure that you are using this template for the assignment and not creating your own. This assignment should be completed in Adobe InDesign, and if you have any questions on that, please let me know. To download the template, you should be able to click into that and simply click on the additional file for the page that opens up. That will open up in your downloads folder, and you can simply click in that file wherever it may be on your computer to open up that file. I'm going to bring this up here so that we can see that. So, a couple things. Once you get into Adobe InDesign here, you can see that there are a few different tools over on the right hand side, or a few different panels I should say, with information, and a few different tools over here on the left hand side. So one of the first things that we're going to do is talk about the different extensions for these files. And if I go back to the web browser here for a second, you'll notice that the template that we downloaded says .indd. With this extension here, we can tell that this is an InDesign file, an Adobe InDesign file, and that file is intended to be open and manipulated in InDesign. When you submit your final assignment, you are going to submit that as a PDF, and the instructions are there in the assignment sheet on how to go through that, and we will review that here as well. Now, looking at the control panel here, the first thing that we want to do is come up to your window options, and I'm not sure if you guys can see this in the recording or not. In fact, let me see if I can extend this slightly. Work. If I come up to the very top and go to the InDesign application window, I'm going to come into my workspace, and I am going to be working in the Essentials workspace. Now, I'm already selected into that workspace, but there are other workspaces that are here as well, depending on what it is that you're working on. And basically the tools and the layout for the program slightly changes depending on what that project is that you are working on. Sorry for jumping back and forth here. I'm just trying to minimize the screen a little bit for that. So in this particular case, and pretty much through the course, we're going to be working in the Essentials workspace. So just to make sure that we're all working in the same space here, go into your window workspace, click on Essentials there, and your screen should look like this with your toolbar over here on the left and your different properties panel, pages panel, and CC libraries over here on the right. You'll also notice that you have different tabs up here at the top, depending on how many documents you have open within the InDesign program at one time. Now, you can expand and collapse different panels, and you can also move them around. For example, if I come up to Window, you'll notice that there are additional panels that I can open up here. For example, if I wanted to open up my control panel here, I can bring up this area up at the top that gives me some more information about where I am on the page, the actual text that's being selected, where the cursor is at on the page that you can see moving around over here on the left, so on and so forth. So essentially these are just different panels that you can manipulate. You can pull these different windows in and out, collapse them and open them, and always pull them back into the space by either going up to your window option up here and selecting on those individually, or again coming back into the Essentials and simply resetting your Essentials workspace if needed. So, looking at the expanding and collapsing of the panels there and moving them around, the next thing that we're going to do is look at the actual properties palette over here. And this is going to give us information about our document. We can see that this is a letter size document, particular sizing here. This is giving us a count of 4 pages that is in a portrait format, meaning it is a vertical sort of format on the 8.5 by 11 page. We have margins here, and it lets us know about our rulers that are being shown, if we need to toggle on and off of those rulers for particular guides, as well as the guides that are in the actual space that are being toggled on and off, and how to import individual files as well, which we'll be coming back to later. You'll also notice that there's another panel up here that is pages. And if I click on pages, here I can see the 4 different pages in this document. And I can actually scroll down to see these pages, or I can click on these individually, or double click I should say, to select into these different pages. There are 4 pages in this document, and each page aligns with the different principle. So you'll notice that page 1 is C for contrast. Page 2 is R for repetition. Page 3 is A for alignment. Page 4 is P for proximity. All of these pages have a a placeholder frame, an image frame inside here that you will be placing your image, as well as a text box down here that you will be creating your write-up in relation to the image that you've selected and the principle that you are aligning that with. Once you are working on these pages, make sure that you are selected on the correct page that you are working on. You'll also notice that there is a component to this page that you cannot manipulate up here at the top, and that is the title where your name is supposed to go. And that is because this particular text box up here is in your master pages, which you will see is above the 4 working pages in this panel. If I come over here to the top right and double click on my master page, you'll notice that the information that was on this page is gone, and there's actually only 1 page when I scroll up and down as well. That's because this is referred to as a master page, that each one of these individual pages within my working document is actually pulling from. And you can see that this reads a master page and that there is a capital A on each one of these pages. If I hover above that, it's letting me know that the A master page is applied to each one of these as well. Now this is already set up in the template. So in order to change and include your name on each one of these pages for the actual master page, you need to again double click into the master page up here at the top, double clicking into the thumbnail on the right hand side. Then you're going to come up to the top where it says your name and click into the box. And we are going to use our type tool, which is on the left hand side with the large uppercase T, to simply come over and select the text that is inside there that says your name, to write in your actual name for the assignment. Once you have written out your name and changed that text, you can click back on the black arrow tool up at the top of the toolbar here, the selection tool. And now if I click back into one of my working pages, either 1, 2, 3, or 4, if I double click onto that thumbnail, you'll notice that all of these pages now have changed and pulled from that master page where you have changed your name. So that is the first step to this document, is making sure that you have changed the name here in the master page. You've double clicked back into your working page for page 1. And now we're going to look at placing an actual image into this frame here. So the first thing that we're going to do is again come over to your black selection tool. And by selecting into this rectangular frame tool here that has this large X, you'll notice that it highlights this frame. Make sure not to move the frame around within the actual template by selecting it and actually clicking it. If you do that, you can always go up to Edit and Undo to go back a step within your progress. So I'm just going to simply use my black arrow tool to click into the frame holder box here. And here is where I want to actually place an image within my document. So I am going to come over back to my panel over here on the right hand side and go into my properties panel. And you'll notice that now that I have this box selected, it's giving me some different information. If I select out of this again, you'll see that the properties panel is giving me document information when I don't have anything selected. But as soon as I select on this frame holder box here, it's giving me information about the actual box itself, which is telling me that it has a fill of none, meaning there's no color or any patterns placed inside of this box. It is essentially clear. But it does have a black stroke around it of 0.5. It's also letting me know that there is alignment options that I can do, and then we are going to use some of these frame fitting options down here as well. So what I want to do is import one of my images that I've already downloaded into this frame holder box. So I'm going to come over to Import File down here at the bottom right and simply click into the image that you are trying to pull into the space. In my case, I have a screenshot here from a previous student and their image that they have used that I'm going to use in reference for this. Once you find that file, you can click Open, and it will automatically place that image within that frame holder box as long as it has been selected prior to importing that. Now, you'll notice that it's being cropped and I can't see the entire book cover here. So with that still selected, I'm going to come over to my frame fitting options down here. And there are multiple frame fitting options. There is the fill frame proportionately, which is on the left. There is the fit content proportionately. Those are the two most popular. And then you have fit content to the frame, fit frame to content, center content, and content aware fit. In the case of this project here, we want to use the second option of fit content proportionately. That way we're not skewing the image at all and it's fitting within the frame box. It's okay if there's space on either side of this. I want to see the entire image. Once that has been placed, you can, with your black selection tool, simply click anywhere outside of your page And now we can come down and start to include the text or the write-up for this. So again, if I'm going to manipulate any sort of text, I'm going to come over to my Type tool, that is the large uppercase T, and I'm going to select into this text box and select the place text here that is already written. Here is where you will, once selected, you will type out your write-up in regards to the principal selected. Once you have completed your write-up, you're going to go back to your selection tool, click out of that page again, and you have completed the first page of this assignment. The C for contrast is referencing this image that you have placed and fit proportionately within the frame holding box there. You have included your write-up below, answering the question in relation to that image. And now you can either come back to your pages and click on your second page, or simply scroll down to the next page, which will be the principle of R for repetition. And you will repeat that process. So again, with the selection tool here, I would simply click into the frame tool. I will come into import file. I will select the second image that I am referencing for the repetition. Once I have that placed, I'm going to come over to my frame fitting and select the second option here, fit content proportionately. Now I will come over and select out of that box, select my Type tool on the left-hand side of my tools panel over here, select the text within the text frame here, and simply add in your text. Once you have completed that, you will complete the alignment principle as well as the proximity principle, and then you will be ready to save this out and upload to the assignment section. So once you have completed this assignment, you should always save your working file. That is up here in the File option and Save As. You can save this wherever you would like. I'll go ahead and place this on my desktop for right now. And this is letting me know that this is an InDesign document. There is the title of this, which you can leave whatever you would like. I'll go ahead and just erase template and put in my first and last initial here and hit save. Now this is going to be the InDesign working document so that you can open this up and edit it later on if needed, start it, pause it, come back to it. You always want to save your working file first and make sure that you have a working file so that you can come back to that. Once you have saved out your working file, now you want to export this as a PDF. And if you remember in the assignment sheet for this, if I go back to the module and the assignment sheet, talks about the steps for this, going to File, Adobe PDF Presets, and smallest file size. So we'll simply follow those instructions. We're going to come up here in InDesign to File, Adobe PDF Presets, and I'm going to scroll down to smallest file size. Now here is where you want to reference the actual naming convention for this assignment. And again, if you go back to the assignment sheet, it says, for example, the first initial last name, crapanalysis.pdf. You can simply select this and copy it and paste it into that space if you would like, and then edit it, or you can type that out if you would like to. I'm just going to go ahead and change this here. Save this to my desktop. And when I hit save, it's going to bring up this dialog box that asks me how I want to export out this PDF. In this case here, we've already done the Adobe PDF preset of smallest file size, so there are no changes that you need to make within this dialog box. You can simply come down to the bottom right-hand corner and click Export. This is letting me know that it doesn't match the destination color. I'm going to click OK for the time being, and it should save out that PDF. If I come into my actual Finder here and come into my desktop, you'll see that I have my working file for the InDesign file that I have created, as well as the actual PDF that is including all 4 pages that you have completed. Obviously, the example here, I've only completed the 2, but you would have all of yours with your write-ups. And you will then take this PDF and upload that into Canvas. Again, if you come over here to the modules and come into the C.R.A.P design principles at the bottom here for the scavenger hunt, this is where you will upload your assignment. So this is not open right now, but you will see a Start Assignment button up at the right-hand corner, I believe. And if you click on that, you can upload the file that you have saved out. And always double check to make sure that that file has uploaded correctly. You can either view it in line in the browser or download that again to make sure that it has uploaded correctly. And that will be the completion of the first assignment. As always, if you have any questions in relation to the assignment or in relation to the lecture, don't hesitate to reach out. Good luck.